can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Feel comfy.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna put Lady away. She'll drive me crazy. She'll want to sit with me the whole time. Get ready. Come. How do we start this?
You go ahead.
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, you know what? We're gonna do a thumbnail first because I'm already feeling like I want to start crying. So.
Yeah, I put waterproof mascara on today.
So hold on. We're gonna get a thumbnail and then we'll be back. Is this weird? Should we not sit here?
I mean, I like it, but at the same time, I know what you're saying because we're kind of like separated.
Yeah, we are. It is comfy, and I want us to be comfortable.
Because the couch is kind of more squishy.
Uh-huh.
I'm fine with it here, but...
Okay, we'll just make it work. We are going to jump into this Q&A. On Instagram, I asked you guys to ask me some questions that you wanted to know about Bri, about the baby, about working, what it's like working for me. And also, we've both been super emotional about her last day, which is tomorrow, and I feel like I just have been avoiding it. Like I haven't even wanted to talk about it because it's emotional.
I feel like anytime we try and bring it up, we both just end up like, not like full on crying, but we just, man, it's hard. It's definitely not easy. Every time we bring it up, it's like, this is not fun.
Which makes me feel good because she's not like counting down the days to get the heck out of here, which I'm like, okay, that's a good sign.
Not gonna lie, there's been times where I'm like, how much longer can I do this? But overall, I'm more anxious to leave than I am to like, I don't know. I'm anxious to leave, that's for sure.
Really?
Yeah, because we've talked about it like.
Excited to leave or nervous to leave?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Because like I'm this person that likes to do and be busy, and I think that's all coming to kind of an end because outside of working for Bonnie, I don't do anything. So I do, I mean, I have lots of hobbies and stuff like that. I mean, my husband stay really busy, but it's different. Like coming to work every day and being busy and, you know, always having a set schedule, I think that's gonna change things a lot.
Yeah, she keeps telling me how nervous she is, but I don't think I think once you get into it, you're not gonna.
Once the baby's here.
Yeah, it'll be second nature.
Yeah. Yeah, once the baby's here, I'll feel like I have a purpose, but the kind of flex time in between, I'm a little nervous, but it's not that long, so I can do it.
All right, well, first of all, this is only a few of the comments that were like, I don't have a question, but Bri is so beautiful. Bri is so amazing. We're gonna miss her. She's gonna do so good.
Which is funny because I feel like I wasn't in a lot of like your videos.
No, and she was, so when Bri first started, it was like, I don't want you to take pictures of the kids. I don't want you to post pictures of the kids. Like, I don't want, like, she wasn't on camera very often. If you know me, people, or the things that are most important to me, I don't really share a lot of. And there were so many different reasons behind that, and obviously it like lightened up. Right. But like when I was with Ellie, half the time we weren't recording because I was with Ellie. And like Bri's job is so important and she's so important. It's like I just didn't want that. And I didn't want to feel like I was exploiting you. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Which I felt like it was perfect. Like sometimes I'd be in it here and there, but for the most part I liked being on camera. Believe it or not, I'm still camera shy.
For the first question, these are all like, how did you meet? How did Bri start working for you? Did it take a while to build trust? How did you find Bri? So I thought it would be good just to kind of like start at the beginning.
It's like I kind of forgot.
Yeah, on like how we met. So didn't we run into each other at Old Navy one time?
Yes.
Okay, so we ran into each other at Old Navy.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it was just like, hey, she was like, hey, I watch your videos. And I was like, oh, cool, hi.
I think because I had just started getting into like YouTube stuff. I had graduated high school and I was like watching a few like makeup stuff and whatnot because I didn't know how to do any of that. And I think that's kind of when YouTube was getting big because that was like 6 years ago. So I mean, I think YouTube had started by then, but I was just kind of in this flex time of my life of like graduating high school and going to college and just kind of living life. So I found a few videos on YouTube and then one led to Bonnie and then I saw some Ellie's and whatnot, and it just went from there.
And then we had a meetup at the Wiggle Worm around Christmas time. I had just had Lincoln, so when I was there, I remember I cried on the way there because I was nervous to go to a meet and greet, and it was just me and Ellie, and she had just had a baby, and so it was just like a really stressful time. I think Joel and I, we weren't full-time yet, so Joel was still working. Her and her brother came.
Yeah.
And they said hi. She was telling me where she lived, and it was just like so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like somewhere here in the valley. And then, I don't know, I really liked her, and it was just like normal. She was very normal. And that's like what stood out to me. Then she left, and then I ran into her brother where he worked, and I had been thinking, don't ask me why, I had like, she had been in my mind, like I had just been thinking about her, and I ran into her brother, and I was like, oh hey, how are you? And I think I actually ran into him twice, and the second time I was like, can I get your sister's phone number?
It was meant to be, you guys, like for reals.
It really,
how everything worked out. We still talk about it to this day, like how did this even happen?
And so I was just like, hey, I know you're working at this bakery, but can you, I don't know, like how much are they paying you? And she's like, oh, I don't know, like she told me how much they were paying, and I was like, well, I'll pay you more if you'll just like come.
Yeah.
Come to my house.
I think you were just in the middle of everything. But the funny thing is, I didn't just work for you at first.
Oh really?
I worked for Ellie and Jared too, remember? And we would switch days off. It was like Monday, Wednesday, I would go to Ellie's, and then like Tuesday, Thursday.
I think how it started was you were working for me, and she didn't have anyone, so I was like, Ellie, you should let her come to your place.
That's how it was.
I was like, no, you are mine.
No, that's true. And then I would go work for her for a couple days in the week, because Jackson and Calvin were so little, and they were really close in age. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And then I only had like 2 months before I was about to leave to serve an LDS mission. So it was kind of just this, help them as much as I can, but it wasn't like this full-time crazy thing. And
mostly she would come in the very first thing in the morning, get Lincoln out of his crib, and bring him to me in my bed.
Yeah, and then just do things with the kids because they were all really little. So it was more of like focus on the kids, help them with whatever. I'll deal with Lincoln and then do work things on the side. And Joel was gone. So
yeah. Okay, wow. And that was before we remodeled.
Yeah, oh yeah. It was before everything.
And then when you went on your mission, so you only worked for me for a couple months, you went on your mission, and we wrote to each other. Like
you guys were in Hawaii. And I was just serving my mission, and then...
And not a ton, like I would get a few letters. I wrote her a few times. Did I write you? I wrote you a few times. Okay, it's like I wrote back.
Yeah. And it was so fun. It was crazy to see how much the kids had grown up and everything.
The next question is, where did she serve? Do you speak Spanish? How old is she?
Sí, hablo español. Todavía puedo hablar lo que quiero. Pero, bueno, I served my mission in Chile, but I can still speak Spanish. My husband speaks Spanish as well. At first I tried to teach the kids a little bit, but...
My biggest regret is not making Bris speak only Spanish to the kids.
Yeah. At first they were like, how do you say this? And we would talk about it a lot, but from being home and stuff, I've just kind of... I haven't forgotten about my mission, but I just don't talk as much. But I did go to Mexico in November, and it all came back to me, so I wish I would have taught the kids more too.
I wish that that would have been the rule, like you only speak to Bri in Spanish.
It would have been good for me too.
I know, but I feel bad. I should have done that. Okay, how old are you?
I'm 25.
25.
Yep.
Okay.
We're like 10 years apart.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't seem that way. To me, it doesn't seem that way. When is Bri's due date? How many weeks is she? How many kids do you plan on having?
So my due date is May 2nd, but ever since I had my first or second ultrasound, he is like measuring ahead. So they're planning and thinking the last week of April. So I'm coming on 36 weeks. And I think we want 4 kids, but we'll see. Somewhere around there, 3 to 5, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a hard question. It's like you just never know.
I know, I'm like, I can handle 4. I can handle Bonnie's 4, but more than that, I don't know.
How has your pregnancy been overall?
Really good, right? Wouldn't you agree?
She hasn't skipped a beat. How many times have you called in sick?
0.
0. She called in sick 0 times.
Okay, one funny story. So Bonnie and Joel were out of town, and I took the kids to this sports academy place where you can play sports and whatever. And I had a breakfast burrito because I was like, I could only eat a few things in my first trimester, and so the kids are just swimming. I'm just eating it like really slow so it doesn't upset my stomach. No. I start throwing up and it's coming out of my nose. I have to run to the bathroom and the kids saw it. I'm like, I'll be right back, just like wait. But other than that, like, it's been so good. I cannot complain.
And she didn't even tell me about it. She wasn't like, oh, I got sick. The kids came home and they were like, Bri threw up through her nose. I was like, what?
I'm like, of course that's what they would say, but
they're tattletales.
Yeah, I was sick for the first trimester, just like a little bit, not anything crazy. I truly feel blessed. So other than that, it's been great.
She's been super energetic through her whole pregnancy, which I have no idea how. I have no idea how. Okay, gender, name, and what is a name you love but won't be using? And you don't have to tell them if you don't want to.
Okay. Gender, it's a boy, and I knew it from the beginning. People were like, oh, you're having a girl. I'm like, no, it's a boy. We really love the name Winston because of my husband's grandpa, and I just think it's a cute name. It's not too crazy, but it's pretty simple, and it's a strong name. A name I love but won't be using. For this one at least, I like the name McCoy, but my cousin just married a kid named McCoy, but I really like that name because it has cute nicknames. I don't know, I just love like your kids, I can call them like Bost or Link, and I just love short, quick names. But like my husband always says, I want a name that the teacher can't like, he doesn't
mess up.
Yeah, like stumble over or whatever. So we're thinking Winston.
I feel like that name like goes with you and Colton.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, oh, that fits you guys.
Yeah, I love it. The more I say it, the more I love it. My husband wants to meet him first. I'm more of like, let's just name him that, but...
It's like, how can you change it?
I know.
But you never know. You never know. This is the hands down most asked question is, will Bri continue to work for your family? We love her.
I just need to say this is the most asked question in my personal life too.
Really?
Yeah, they get confused. So you're not going back? And I'm like, no. Like the kids, it's funny because the kids are getting to that age where I don't need to be here.
I think it's like a two-handed answer.
Yeah.
So will she come back and will she be doing the same things that she was doing? No. If you would have told me that this was happening even 6 months earlier, I would have had a heart attack. Like I don't function without Bri. And so over her pregnancy, we've just kind of slowly taken a day away. She's taken a lot more vacation days, which she never took vacation days. I really do believe the timing was so perfect because I didn't realize that I was working my way out of needing someone so often and like so much help, which is a good thing. Like my kids are older, and it is to the point where, okay, Olivia should be doing a lot more chores. Cody and Boston, Lincoln, we all can be doing different things. And the shift in where my focus is different as well. And so the timing for me has worked out perfect. And I feel like, I mean, you've been here a long time. How many years?
Coming on 4.
Coming on 4 years, and that doesn't include before your mission? No. Don't you feel like even for yourself, like you are ready to move on?
Well, should we talk about like, I feel like when I first, like I said, before my mission and then right when I came home, Lincoln was still only 2. Boston was home, wasn't going to school at all. And then it was just Cody and Olivia. Cody was half day. So kids were still like my top priority, but I feel like through the years, it's been like, okay, less kids, more being like Bonnie's assistant, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And it's not just, I feel like people think, oh, she just deals with the kids. No, I have so many different like...
We'll get to that question.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure if that was coming, but yeah, I agree. I feel like it's just to a point where it's still gonna be a hard transition, even for me personally. Like, I'm so used to this, but it's almost like it's time.
It is. I feel like we're both ready for it. Yeah.
And I feel like you've learned how to manage your things more with the kids, and yeah.
For sure. You can run by, Joel. Go ahead.
Didn't want to be the shot.
That leads me to the next question. Who will be helping with the kids once Bri has her baby? So, I'm not going to hire anyone to replace her. Number one, I could never replace Bri. Like, that is not, I know that's like cliche, but I just couldn't.
The funny thing is I've worked here for this long and I still ask questions. I still don't know everything perfectly. So I agree, like it would take a long time to get someone to know and just come in and be able to knock out the things that I know.
Oh yeah, like she knows, I would say Bri knows me better than anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, Bri knows me better than anyone.
I'm here, like, I'm in the background of their life.
Everything.
So,
everything.
I mean, sometimes I mute my ears so I don't hear everything, but yeah.
I don't want to know the things that I wouldn't want her to know that she knows. Like, she knows, like, numbers coming in, numbers going out. Like, she knows the details that go into my luggage, that, like, the things that come out of my luggage. Sometimes I'll, like, see that my bags are unpacked. I'm like, ay.
That's funny.
Like, well. What's the best advice you have received from Bonnie? What will you take from watching Bonnie be a mom? How has watching Bonnie and Joel's children prepare you for having your own kids? And what has Bonnie taught you that will help you with the new baby?
I would say the top thing from Bonnie and Joel is living within your means. That's a huge one. Throughout the process of working for Bonnie, I got married. We lived in my husband's grandma's house, and then we felt like it was time to buy a home. And instead of like overspending or getting a home that maybe we couldn't afford, we bought a house that was perfect for our budget, not out of our means, something that we could live within, and that's truly how they live their life. I don't know, Joel, when I first started, he had his little car.
Yeah.
And that was their second vehicle, and that's how they got around. And then he got a truck, and then he got his dream truck. And you know, he's 10 years older than me and my husband, but they are patient and they wait for the things when they can afford them. And I am beyond excited for them to be able to build their dream home. And that's probably the biggest thing. Another thing I've taken away from Bonnie is I love that she can just be herself in front of the camera and not hold back things. For me personally, I'm someone that likes to keep things to myself, but I think her telling you guys about her life can really benefit you and help you get through hard things. And I know she's been through a lot and she's helped me get through a lot of crap in my life. Let's see, in the time that I've worked here, my parents got a divorce, and that was devastating. And you helped me. What would I have done? Like, honestly, she was like an older sister to talk to. My mom got cancer. I had problems with family and whatnot, and she was able to just listen, and she didn't ever judge me once. Like, she saw where I was coming from, and I don't know, I just felt so confident. And I feel like that's what you've taught me, is just be myself and let others know how I'm feeling, and just being a listening ear to other people, no matter their age, whether they're a kid or an adult. Here come the waterworks, but that's what I've learned from her. And also, she's taught me how to do a lot of makeup things, so I've gotten more confident in that. And her style, I swear. Even she had like a Walmart set, like sweatsuit. I'm like, went and bought 2 of them. Like, you really do influence me to be like cute. And I'm definitely still not like, I don't wear like bold earrings or like bold lipstick, but you've made me feel like I'm beautiful.
Everything that she has said, it's the exact same way that I feel back, because it's like things that people would have no idea were going on off camera.
Right.
It was like there was a lot of things that I needed help dealing with, and Bri was here every day. There's not a whole lot she doesn't know, and I feel like we really helped each other through different situations.
And I think what's crazy is that when I went through something, then it's not like we ever went through a hard thing together. You were there to help me, and then it's just crazy, the ripple effect. Like, we've always been there to build each other up and help each other get through the, like, literally since working here, things that have happened have been some of the hardest things in my life.
Same.
Like, before working for her, I just like was in high school, college, you know, dating and living my life, and it wasn't that hard. And I feel like once I got home from my mission, I had a lot of trials to go through, and I know that's another reason why we were meant to find each other, and it goes both ways.
One thing I appreciated is that Bri didn't show, I mean, she could have worn whatever she wanted. It's not like she was on camera. It wasn't. She came to work ready and so cute every single day. And
you made me want to look cute though.
Well, that's nice, because I look like death almost every day. Like, I'm walking out, I'm like, hey, good morning. Yeah, all of that goes both ways.
Okay, so then to answer the question of like, what am I gonna take from Bonnie and Joel? They make their kids work. Like, they're not these kids that just don't do anything and sit around. Like, they know how to do things. Like, if I told Olivia to do something, she would know how to do it, and I want my kids to be like that. I know there's something else. What was it? I knew this question was coming. Oh, I love how when Bonnie always told me, like, you're the mom, let your children know that you're the mom. Like, don't let them run your life. And of course, like, they're little kids and they're gonna do crazy things, but like, I don't want to lose myself in my kids, and I feel like that's something that you stand behind. And Joel, like, you still go do fun things, you still live your life, you have your kids, you know, and they're obviously your first priority, but I don't want to lose Bri. Like, I want to still be Bri. I still want to go hiking, I still want to go do fun things, and I know that I can do that now because I've done it with your kids.
Well, and if your kids don't listen, you don't, like, you're a slave to them.
Right. Like, I remember when Lincoln was little, or even when he was 2, he will take, like, he needs a nap for him and for you.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't just let them skip. So that's something I learned. Like, set boundaries, but also let them be kids.
Yeah. And something that I've taken away from Bri is I don't play with the kids. I've never like played with the kids. Bri, like, I in the beginning, that's what I told her. I'm like, that's why I hired you. Show them fun that I can't.
And that's probably, I'm sure there'll be a question, but that's like one of my favorite things, is just being able to play with the kids in the snow, build a snowman, go on hikes. I love it. And that's why this job has fit me so well.
What is your favorite memory with the kids, or like favorite thing to do with the kids, that kind of thing?
Okay, this is easy. I would say summer of 2019 was like bliss. Olivia wasn't too old. She's kind of getting a little sassy.
Like too, yeah.
Olivia, don't be sad if you see that. Like, she's just getting to the age of,
she's a preteen.
Yeah, and it's so, summer 2019, I was looking back, we had the time of our lives. We would go to parks, we would go play in the water, we were outside almost every day. And the kids were just at the perfect age where Lincoln was old enough to not, like, you know, you didn't have to worry so much, but we had so much fun. Like, we would do competitions.
Oh, they loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, so summer of 2019 was probably my favorite. You'll have to go back and watch videos from that year. It was so fun. I just love being able to get down and dirty with the kids. My favorite thing is doing like competitions, because I'm a very competitive sport person, and so I would always set up like things at the park, or let's see who can do this the fastest, and stuff like that is like my favorite. Or teaching them a new sport or something like that. She
grew up kind of on a farm.
Yeah.
And she would always take the kids back to her parents' house, and like her mom was so good to, like, her mom is so good to my kids, and that's what I love, is like, when, this is what I think is cool, is Bri did a lot with her siblings, and her siblings included my kids as if they were just like part of the crew.
Yeah.
And so she got to hang out with her family during the summer a lot, and my kids got to go with them, and they were such a good influence on my kids, and that's what makes Bri so special, is she's very like-minded, and her family was raised very like-minded the way ours was, and so it wasn't like, oh, Bri's bringing along these kids and they're terrible. You would almost be like, anybody.
Yeah, you would almost be like, no, I want you to go hang out with like your siblings.
I loved it.
The thing is, the kids liked my brothers and sister more than me. So that was fun.
That's like,
I know.
Yeah.
I have to be the one that's like, okay, no, we're not doing that. But that also, I love just, this job has been so flexible that like, say I have a family thing I want to go to. My little sister played high school sports, and the kids loved going to her games. And I loved having them, teaching them like, that's how they play volleyball or basketball. So that is another thing, is taking them to see like how I grew up and my side of things, you know, because it's very different from like.
And it made my kids more well-rounded, because I'm not sportsy at all, but that's like where Bri picked up the, like, she taught my kids more to be more sportsy.
Yeah, so that is definitely one of my favorite things, was taking them to Tay's games and just showing them my side of life, I guess, and like you say, yeah, that was way fun.
Craziest Hoellein babysitting story.
I can't narrow it down to one.
I know.
But literally the worst parts were calling Bonnie and Joel and saying, hey, we need to go to the hospital. That was the worst. I would say when Lincoln got RSV, that was like the craziest.
So Cody got stitches while I was gone.
Yeah.
Kids got lice.
She
had to deal with lice.
I hated that, actually.
I don't even want to like think about that. It was awful.
It was awful.
I hated leaving.
Not only that, the kids were so sad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was horrible.
I just hated when like I couldn't comfort them like Bonnie and Joel could, because yes, they love me, but there is a passionate love that they have for their parents, and I could never just suffice it for them. But I think the craziest one was Lincoln had RSV. He was like not breathing, and this was before you knew like how to treat it and stuff. So I'm like, Olivia, you have to stay here with the kids.
And
like,
she was little.
It was like midnight or 1 a.m. I'm just like, I have to take him to the hospital. Yeah, that was probably the worst.
That was awful. Will Olivia be able to babysit?
Yes.
Heck yes. Yeah. Olivia is her built-in babysitter.
Yeah, I'm excited. The thing is, once you guys, like, we'll live on opposite sides of the valley, so it's gonna be
okay.
Far, but I'll drop them off. She has to work for me now.
This surprised me. People don't really know exactly what you do for me. So how often does Bri come over? For the last 4 years, Bri has been here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Yep. So full-time job.
And does she have a job besides spending time with your kids? And I wasn't sure if that meant like outside of work, like this is Bri's full-time job.
Yep.
And what all did Bri do for you? Just babysitting? And I hate the term babysitting, but anyway, is Bri considered a nanny or your assistant?
Yeah, I never, when the kids were like, oh yeah, our babysitter. I'm like, I'm more like a sister or something. Like, I just never felt like, I'm babysitting you guys.
No, and like even nanny, technically she would be more of a nanny. Yeah. But I hate even using the term nanny as well.
So the thing is like Bonnie and Joel, you guys were here. Like,
yeah, we
team did everything except for when you guys would go somewhere on vacation, or we all worked together.
I want to like paint a picture of like how it works. So Bri comes in the morning at 9 and just, I'm a huge fan of sticky notes, and so there's like a grocery list and a sticky note, and anytime I'm like doing things around the house and I see things that need done, I would write it on the list. Or if like I needed things to be done, like for example yesterday, it's like I know that I need all of our clothes steamed for our next Sunday picture, and so I put on there like steam all of our church clothes, and so she steamed all the church clothes, has them lined up in my closet with like all the things that they need. Yeah, which it's like, I'm a very detail-oriented person, and I needed someone that paid attention to details, and there has never ever been a time that I'm like, oh, why can't she do this better, or like, oh, why didn't she do this?
Sure.
not once. And what I found myself doing more of is I'm like, oh my gosh, she remembered even more than I did. Like, oh, she thought of this and I didn't even have to ask her to do it. She just did it. But anyway, she comes in the mornings. I think the first thing she does is like look at the sticky note, and then if there's nothing pressing, she just does what she sees needs done. So instead of like cleaning the kitchen at night, sometimes if I'm like tired, I just know I'm going to rest for the night so that I'm good to go for tomorrow, instead of burning myself out cleaning the dishes tonight, doing laundry. Like, that's where she came in. Yeah. She made it possible for me to be more of a relaxed person, and so I wasn't high strung as much as I could be. Or like instead of at night cleaning my room up so that I wake up to a clean room, like I just know Bri will come in the morning and she will help me do these things.
It's almost like, think of yourself, if you're a mom, having 2 of you. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of varied. Like for a while it was like, okay, your main job is to come up with healthy meals, write me a grocery list, go grocery shopping, and make dinner.
Yeah, like, it's definitely fluctuated throughout the years. Like at first it was like, find something to do with the kids, like entertain the kids. Especially because Lincoln and Boston were home. Yeah. And we had the full day with them. Yeah. So it was entertaining them, and then maybe a few things here on the side, but really it was the kids. And now more so what it's been lately is, okay, I need you to do like stuff in my email, I need you to do Bali stuff. It just kind of like all varied. It just, I would say it was like nanny assistant. Like I really don't do much with the kids now. They're very, very independent, and here and there I will.
And I like doing more so the stuff with them because they're at an age where if you are not on them for their attitude, they're gonna be horrible. And I feel like that's what I'm working on the most with all of the kids right now is attitude. Yeah. And you just can't enforce it the way I have to.
I was gonna say that's probably one of the hardest parts of this job has been is like I'll say one things to the kids and then like I'm not their parent, so like it's always the same. At first they would listen pretty good, but like Bonnie and Joel stay on top of that, and they're in charge. Like I just kind of let things fly, and then I'll tell them if like something's happening. But yeah, I would say more of full as like assistant. Like I'll return packages. I'll oh, and we don't even talk. We haven't talked about Bali.
I know. So I was gonna say we didn't finish answering the question of will Brie be working for us when she's done. So she'll take as much maternity time as she wants. And I'll just leave that up to her. And when she does come back, she'll be doing Bali. So she will be doing a lot of like the behind the scenes stuff for Bali, which she's been doing, but it'll be more of like more responsibility in that area to take it off of mine and Ellie's plate. And something with the way Brie works here is I gave her a lot of like freedom in like you decide, like you make the schedule, like you do what needs done, like you can see what needs done, you decide like if you want to clean in the morning, if you want to clean in the afternoon.
And she's been so good to me with like pregnancy. Obviously at first I could do pretty much everything, and now it's more like just take your time, take it slow. Which what company, like if you were to work for a different company, they just say, you know, you either do this or you don't. And Bonnie's been very flexible and nice enough to keep me along this long.
Well, and because she's flexible with me. I mean,
I think we've always said we take care of each other. Like if she needed me to work a weekend that I really didn't want to work, I would just do it for her, and then in return there's been times where I'm like, oh, I wish you could work, but like I knew she had things, but it was more important for me to make sure she was happy because we keep up on each other. It's like, are you happy? Like is there anything that's like bothering you? Yeah, like every 6 months I feel like it'd be brought up because
naturally it wasn't like we'd sit down and be like, oh, let's have a check-in. No, it's like I want to make sure Bris, and we can tell, like you can tell when something's off, so it's like, okay, let's like talk about it. Okay, I love this one. How did you tell Bonnie that you were expecting?
I didn't. This is a crazy one.
We have pictures to prove this. I was sitting at the table, Brie came in, and I could sense that there was something like off. She just came in, got to work, and like there was something definitely off. And never in my life have I like snapped a picture of Brie without her knowing. But I swear to you, in my mind, I thought she looks so pretty. And I was just thinking of like sending it to her, like I'll just take it and then I'll send it to her because she looked really pretty to me.
Which is funny because like my hair wasn't done and I was just wearing like this casual sporty outfit.
But it was like her demeanor, it was the glow. Like it was there, and you're gonna die. You're gonna die.
This is crazy.
So I took the picture and then I was like, Brie, I was like, are you still planning on trying to get pregnant this fall?
I turn around and my eyes are just, I don't know what my eyes look like, but I was just like, what in the heck?
They looked like this.
I was like, why is she asking me this?
And she said the words, why did you ask me that? Is that what you said?
Like, why are you asking me that?
Why are you asking me that? And
I was so caught off guard.
Tell them why.
I was pregnant. And that was the day I found out.
She took a pregnancy test before she came to work and it was positive, and she hadn't even told Colton yet.
Yeah. It was the first one I had taken, and I was just in shock because I didn't know what to think. And of course, like all of the questions start coming to your head, like, oh my gosh, like I'm pregnant. Second is like, what am I gonna do for, like, what, am I gonna stay here? Like, I don't know, like, how is pregnancy gonna be? And so I'm just sitting there, I'm sure, doing whatever I was doing, running a million questions in my head. Overall, just so excited.
You can see it on her face. If you look at the picture, you can see it on her face. That's exactly what she was doing.
I'm gonna put a picture in.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And then we recreated the picture.
You'll see how skinny I was. I was like, wow, I haven't gained much. Like, oh yeah, there's a difference. I'm a lot more full in all the areas.
I love it. She looks so beautiful in both.
Yeah, so I didn't have to tell Bonnie. I just
sensed knew.
It. Yeah. I was a little bit mad. I was like, I really wanted to surprise her, but in the end, I was just like, of course she would know. She knows me so good. I'm here every day. I told her not to tell Joel, and she told Joel.
I had to. Like, it like would slip. She's like, don't tell Joel, I want to surprise him. And then he starts being like, how are you feeling, Bri?
Yeah, like, nice. He was being so nice to me, which he always is, but I was just like, he knows. But I did get to surprise the kids, but I felt like they knew too, because Olivia's just a little, she knows everything.
Eavesdrops.
She knows everything though. She's so, oh, you can't keep anything from her.
No, she eavesdrops.
So it's fine.
And she's smart.
But ever since then, the kids have been so excited. Every week they ask me, what size of fruit? Because I have like a little app, and they've been so excited.
So cute. Okay, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Are you really as close as it appears in the vlogs? Probably more so. Like,
yeah.
You're probably closer than
I feel like I'm always awkward in the vlogs. But in person, like, I can talk to her about anything, and we always hug. Like, who hugs their boss as much as I do?
I know. Like, every weekend, it's like, I'm gonna miss you, I'll see you on Monday.
Like, that's the
like,
funny
no,
thing.
I need a break.
Yeah, like, I understand, like, I've had jobs before. You obviously don't tell your coworkers everything, but it's, like, I just tell you everything, because I know, like, you're not involved in my family at all, so, like, there's no judgment, and I can just be open, so. I love it.
I think I didn't like put these questions in here, but people were wanting to know like what will things look like when we're done working here. And this is what I told Bri, is our relationship is definitely going to change. When you first started working for me, it was much more like how old were you? 18?
Yeah. 18,
so she was like a teenager, and I was just like needing help. And so it was like I told her what to do, she did it, and that was like the relationship. But then it kind of morphed into like, oh, she's like more like my friend.
Yeah.
And so, but it never affected our work professionally. Like, we both knew that like work had to get done, but like we were friends.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, I'm not older than her, I'm not superior to her. I mean, I never have been, but like, she's my equal. Like, we're equals. You're a mom, I'm a mom, and we're friends, and we love each other.
Yeah.
And I think it will just continue to be that way. Oh, we still didn't fully answer. So depending on how her baby is, I told her, I said, I'm open and up for anything, but here's what I would love to have happen. If her baby is, I mean, because you never know how the baby is going to behave, like if it's colicky, or if you just can't go and do anything, or if it's like, oh, I have a really mild baby and like I can take him to do anything. What I would like to do is, I know that I can handle things around the household pretty well on my own. I might hire someone to clean. I might hire someone to cook. We'll see. Like, I don't know. I've been enjoying cooking more so myself. I'm just gonna play that part by ear. So no, I'm not gonna hire anybody, and I'll just take it. If I need to hire someone, then I will.
Well, you always have your babysitters.
Yeah, and the one thing that I don't have anyone for is like if Joel and I go out of town. That's probably the biggest blessing, is like I could up and go at any point. We haven't traveled a lot this last year, but that will change. And so if her baby does well, I would love for her to come and watch the kids just when we go out of town.
And I'm excited for that.
And we've like talked about that. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. And
we'll still hang out.
Yeah. I know, I'm like, I want you over for Sunday dinners. Like, I want to know this baby. I want this baby to know me. Like, I would say we're very much, will be a part of each other's lives.
Yep.
Awkward moments. I already know mine. I'm wondering if it's the same one.
I think it is.
I feel like I need to reenact it.
We both need to tell our perspective.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so like she said, in the mornings, I just come in, do my thing, right? And Bonnie just does her thing too. Like, she'll do emails, whatever, get in the shower, get cleaned up. I think this is the same one. So I was folding laundry and I was putting it away, and I'm usually not. So Bonnie was in the shower and she had gone out, and I'm just like being quiet, doing my thing. I'm in her and Joel's room. And then she's like, she opens the door and she's like, I'm coming across. And she comes in butt naked into her room. And it was the most, she like saw me and like was like deer in headlights, and then runs back to the bathroom.
Okay, so as we painted a picture of how things worked. We always would do like opposite things. So like if I was in the kitchen, I mean, that was like a common area, but like if I was in my bedroom, she would go do laundry. Or if like I was downstairs on the couch relaxing, she would be upstairs like working in my room or
I was never like in her space. Like
we never stepped on each other's toes. So with that in mind, I feel like I need to show you exactly how this happened. So I'm in here in my bathroom, and this is how I typically would do things. I would cover myself like this and look down the hall and see, and I would just say, I'm running across, thinking Bri was out there in the family room. No, she's standing in my bedroom here. Bri's over here. And I come in, covering myself this way, and I was like, walk in butt freaking naked. She's standing where you are. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I turn around and I like pranced. I did high knees out the door like this, just like, oh my gosh. And I don't know if it was because I felt awkward, but I genuinely leaped out of the room, and I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. Like, we just laughed our guts out.
Oh my gosh.
It was bizarre.
But other than that, we haven't really had awkward moments.
No, considering, I think you only like, I think I've walked in and like,
a few times.
handful of times.
But other than that, there's not really been awkward moments.
No, I don't think so.
Luckily, I've never peed my pants. You know me, I really pee my pants a lot.
Really?
And I haven't like this pregnancy.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Luckily.
Really?
We haven't had any accidents, yeah.
Final question, does Bri want to start her own YouTube channel? The reason I included this is because Bri does have a YouTube channel. It's not like a daily upload thing, but she makes the best videos, and I cry every time I watch them. So I'll put a link in here if you guys want to see. And do you plan on like making yearly videos with like your new baby?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna keep making videos of like memories. I love looking back. Ever since I was a little girl, I love catching like memories in camera, and I love looking back on memories so much. Like, I look back on the little kids and they're just so sweet. I'm like, where did that time go, you know? I'm always gonna do that. But as far as like doing vlogs like you guys do, I don't think so. I'm just not, I like to keep things to myself more, and Bonnie's so good at what she does, and I think you have to have a talent to be able to do daily or weekly vlogs or whatever it is. But I'd like to do more. I mean, definitely not anywhere near you guys, but I love documenting my life.
Well, and I like that it's a different style. I like that it isn't vlogging every day, but I do like her updates that she puts in there. They're really sweet. Yeah,
I love it. But yeah, definitely never gonna, I don't know, I just feel like I don't have the lifestyle of that. I'm just more of like, I like to do fun things, but be in the moment.
Yeah.
And just whip out my iPhone. Nothing too fancy.
I'm sure this video is super long, but we didn't care. We wanted it mostly for ourselves.
Yeah.
And for like our kids to be able to see, so.
Is there any other questions?
No.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to add?
No.
I think that basically covers it for me too.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm very grateful for you and all that you've taught me and allowing me in your home, because I look at it from my perspective and it's not that easy to have someone come in, you know, deal with all of your things. Like, I mean, from the simplest things of cleaning your clothes how you want it to being involved in like your kids' health and what you eat and your personal life. Like, that's intense, and you just allowed me to do it, and you've helped me in so many ways. Like, I wouldn't have a lot of the things that I do because of you and Joel providing me this job. Like, I've never once taken it for granted, and although it's been hard, like, as much as I say it's hard to come into someone's home and allow someone into your home, it's hard for me to come into their home and, you know, get through their personal things and not always, you know, just trying to help. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
I definitely feel like it can be difficult from both ends.
Yeah. And
I think that we've both just done the best at it.
I can't believe it's ending. Like, it's not ending, but it's definitely never going to be the same as how it used to be, and I'm entering a new stage of life, and I just really, truly cannot thank you enough for this opportunity and for the countless things that I've learned. Obviously, I shared a little bit, but there's more beyond that. Like, cooking enough food for 6 people, or doing laundry, or, you know, keeping the kids quiet, like just, and teaching the kids. I always knew in my head, like I could be sitting at a desk job, or I could be doing something that really didn't make me happy, where being here, I was able to get out with the kids. But although, I mean, I'm not saying it was the easiest job ever, it definitely had its days, but overall, like, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm excited for the future, and that I get to now be a mom and, you know, be able to teach my kids all that I've learned. And although it's gonna be very different, I'm excited. And I know that I'm going in with so much more confidence than I could have ever imagined. You know, looking back 6 years ago, I'd have been like, what in the heck am I getting myself into? But now I know, like, what family and life is all about. And here we go.
You've been perfect for me, thank you.
I mean, we still look back and we're like, how did it align for us to be together and do this together?
It aligned perfectly to start, and it's aligned perfectly to end, and
It
like,
honestly has.
we couldn't be more grateful. So
Yep.
thank you guys for watching and being a part of this, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.